Hinduism is the legacy of genius brains. Where is the legacy available now? It's in the Vedas, it's in the Upanishads, it's in the Puranas, it's in the Brahmanas, Aranyakas, and later texts like Tantric texts. I just forgot to mention the Bhagavad Gita. And then up until recent times, in many regional texts, you see this treasure of genius available. And they deal with different disciplines, from quantum physics to space science to molecular medicine, even nuclear medicine. And it is a curse that we have not used this science of Hinduism up until now. Even as a religion, it has not been practiced properly. That's really a disgrace. But anyway, time is changing, and I hope that the Vedas and the Upanishads and all the other texts will come to light. In fact, there is an article, you may be interested in looking at it, on artificial intelligence in Sanskrit. So go just type AI Sanskrit NASA, then you will see how the NASA scientists think that Sanskrit is a great candidate for artificial language programming because of its rules, grammatical rules, formulas, which can easily be put into algorithms. Now let me come and then talk something very specific. Rig Veda is the ancient, the most ancient scriptures of the world. How old it is, the Hindus would say it has no age, which I believe that. But Western scholars date it about 1200 BC. Some people say it could be even 15,000 BC, but the truth is, you cannot date it. And they did not at that point, and even today, care for dating. What is important is not when it was written. What is important is what it is for and what it can do. Now, quantum physics says that the world, this is quantum field theory, the string field theory, which is one of the latest theories. The string field theory says that the sounds created the universe. And this is the theory that we see in the concept of mantras. The mantras, the Vedic verses are also called mantras. So it's a very complex term. And when you say these sounds, you will get into, even just to think about it, you will get into an altered state of consciousness. The Rucha, we have the verses of the Rig Veda, will take you into different dimensions of experience. But unfortunately, even during the Rigvedic period, the knowledge was lost. First, let me begin with describing what the Veda is. The Veda means it comes from the root Ved, to know. It's a book of knowledge. So they were preoccupied with knowledge of the highest kind, so that they could use it for creation. And how could you? Where is that knowledge? The knowledge is with the gods, the angels. And we do not know the gods and we do not know the angels. And that's because of the reason that we are not able to completely understand the Vedas. And this is not the voice from myself. It is the voice raised by the Rig Veda itself. Richo akshare parame vyoman yasmin deva adivishve nishetu yastanna veda kim riksha karishyati. This is Rig Veda book 1. What is the use of the rich if you do not know the gods and goddesses who carry the secret? Even during that time, the Rig Vedic seer asked the Yastanna Veda Kim Richa Karishyati. What is the use if you do not know where the gods are holding the knowledge? Within the riches or riches. Richa is Hindi, riches. The rucha means to praise. It also means glory, splendor, sound, celestial sounds. See, in Sanskrit, the most important thing is one sound will have several meanings. So even this verse that I chanted to you has been studied by many different scholars in many different ways. I have my own. I've been working on it for a long time. I have my own understanding than what the other people have done. Because now, let me put in perspective what I have found. Rucha is to glorify, to praise. And praising the Lord, if you understand it in biblical terms, praise the Lord. And praise is very important. Swami Ramalingam, who in the 1874 turned his body into light, he says that I thought that I can get everything, enlightenment, without praising the Lord. Then I realized that's what going to give you the greatest understanding. Then I began to delve deep into the praising. And if you read the Sahasranamas of any god, it's just praising them. You are omniscient, you are omnipotent, you are omniscient, all these things. Now, And the later tradition calls it as Archana. You go to the temple in India, do Archana for the deity. What he would say is, you are omniscient, you are omnipresent, you are omniscient, omnipresent. Keep on saying that all the time. And when you do that, you will get the omniscience and omnipresence and all. Omnipotence, omnipresent, and omniscient qualities. So that is the truth. And one of the commentators of this verse is Yaska of Nirukta, and he says, it's all in Richo Akshare, and he says that God, Akshara, is God. Akshara means that which cannot be destroyed. I am more comfortable with saying the Akshara is the letters or syllables. And then the third word is Parame. Param is supreme, and also Param also means that which creates. So just to recite it, not very rapidly, but very slowly, focusing attention on it with a little bit of meaning that you have understood, you will really go into a blissful state of consciousness. Richo Akshare, Akshara, 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 Richo, 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 Richo. Param, 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 Param. That will take you to an understanding beyond your reasoning. The Maharishi has done a lot of research on this particular verse and how it affects your DNA, which it does, yes. He has done a lot of work on this particular text, and also Agnim Mele Purohitam Yajnadevam Ritvidam Hotaram Ratnadatam, that's the first verse in the Rig Veda. And then they are very creative in nature. It will give you wisdom. The Akshara will give you wisdom. Later texts also will illustrate Jnana Adhishtanam Matrikaha. This is Shiva Sutra. Where is intelligence? It's in the Akshara, which will never be destroyed. Akshara means that which will never be destroyed. And that is part of the Akash. So if you are repeating it over and over and over again, you will be able to move to the highest intelligence, and the problems that you have been facing in your life or in your work, you will be able to solve it very quickly because of the highest intelligence that comes from recitation. That reminds me of the Bible. The Bible is called the Word of God. So if you read the Bible over and over again, the biblical tradition says that you will be revealed. What will you be revealed? The relationship between sound and matter. You can, by saying this sound, you can manifest. That is the Rig Veda, that the Richo Parameyoman has the same meaning. You can create everything provided you understand God. And how do you understand God? He is in the word, in the sounds, in the aksharas, in the matrikas. And I have created a science out of it, which is called the phonemic intelligence. And my vision is to use phonemic intelligence to create the highest wisdom or genius brain. So I am going to experiment it pretty soon. We have done some work at Harvard Medical School and also in Brain Science International in San Francisco. And we have introduced in all the schools in the state of Goa, in India, where we have done a study on about 35,000 people. That these are people coming from humble backgrounds, but they quickly were able to show great results in their performance, academic performance. But here it's not simply academic performance, it can give you the highest wisdom, genius, because the genius is in the sounds. The sounds are in the Akash. And the Rishi, the yogi, goes into a meditation, and from that meditation he pulls out these mantras. And that is how the Vedas discovered the mantras. And you can see that as you begin to do it, fully understanding what they are, or at least some understanding of what they are. Richo, Richo, Akshare, Parame, Vyoman, Richo, Akshare, Parame, Vyoman, Akshare, Akshare, Akshara, Akshara, Akshara. When we say Akshara, 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 it has many meanings. One is which will not be destroyed. It will always be there. And what will always be there? That's God. That is letters. That is sounds. That is syllables. So there are meaning comes and then explains a lot of things. It is omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence, all in Akshara. And also in the first Richo. Akshara, Param. It goes to the creative force. Its Param is supreme meaning, but it is also that which creates. Tirumula Siddha would say Para is that which is going to create everything. What is going to create if you have the space science? So in some way it is the space science. The Vedas are from the space. It is always there. It is never destroyed. So it's not a matter of chanting it without understanding that the gods are going to give us the wisdom. You are not going to benefit from that. So the Akshara is very important. In even a vowel like a or e or u or a or I, they have their own galaxies. They have their own galaxies according to Ramalingam and others also. They travel at a tremendous speed, faster than the speed of light. It should be experienced. Then you will not only in a state of bliss, but full of intelligence. So we need a revival of the Vedas, of the Upanishads and Puranas, particularly Puranas. The Puranas are not just mythological stories. They talk about a lot of weapons driven by sound waves. So those weapons become powerful because of your meditation for years and years and years, during which you bring the mind to the quantum level, to the boson level. You have a bosonic mind. At that level of the mind, then you have bosonic power, bosonic intelligence. It is not an accident that boson came to be named after Bose, an Indian scientist who Einstein invited to come and develop with him Bose-Einstein statistics. And boson is named after Bose. Boson is the God particle. So we have to know the God particle through the sounds. Now, there is a science called sonogenetics. The sounds can change your genes. It can change your genes. It's the easiest way to change genes instead of doing gene editing and other things, which is not legal anyway. So you can change it in a very positive way. India will be at the top of this new science, provided they want to put their heart and soul and also their money into research, and also with industries. Just pure research is not going to be very attractive, but an application of their research will be is necessary for sustainability. I just want this message to reach youngsters, youth, because they are the one who can take it further. Now they are lost under the misinformation that Hinduism is superstition or just a faith. It is not a science. It is not only a science, but it is a super science. In my centers in India, we do homas, fire rituals, and then see what the sounds, how the sounds impact the brain of the listeners. And different suktas produce different results. So, the best way to activate your brain is just to listen to them with closed eyes, and you will see the difference. And the sounds are very creative. That's the most important part. Param. And if you don't understand this, how the whole recitation part works, there is no point in reciting it. Yastanna Veda Kim Richa Karishyati. What is the use of reciting it if we don't understand the gods who govern there? That brings all the gods back to prominence. I just stopped here, but I will be continuing to do things that hope that the youths get interested in it. It's not just not for the youth alone, though, for the adults as well. God bless.